Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ken, and I will come on for a second this morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. Who's up? Who's up? Who's up? Who's up? I haven't been live in a long time. I just wanted to see who was up before I went to sleep. I just wanted to come on for a second to see how everybody's doing, and say happy holidays to everybody. I know I should catch somebody up, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure I'm not the only one that's up. I won't be showing my screen today, guys, because I don't have a haircut and none of that stuff. So I apologize. You guys will be talking to an icon tonight. So, you know, I'll probably get a haircut this weekend and I'll go live again and I'll show my face. But as of right now, guys, it's late and, just sitting in here chilling. Just want to see who was up. And, I want to catch. I know it's late in the morning, early in the morning. 3 in the morning. Normally I'd be at work, but the call is off tonight, so I was just sitting here, listening to some old lives that Sugar Sharon had did and stuff. I was like, let me just go live for a second and see what's up. You know, if I don't see anybody up in the next couple of minutes, I'll just log off and try again in the morning. But just see who's up. I'll hang out for a few seconds to see who's on and see who's up and who's not. Might not nobody be up because everybody might be resting up because they got to cook for Thanksgiving and everybody might be asleep and chilling and just relaxing. Yeah, I'll be going to bed pretty soon myself. I just wanted to see who was on and see what's up. But I'll give it. Let me see. It's I've been on what 2 minutes and 5 seconds. I'll stay on for maybe about 10 minutes and see. If anybody on in 10 minutes, I'll just get off and I'll try it again. Maybe in a couple hours I'll try it again. I'll get up early and I'll try it again. But I hope everybody having a good time and hope everybody have a good Thanksgiving. We're a couple of days away from Thanksgiving, but one day away from Thanksgiving. So hope everybody having a good time. Hope everybody in good health. Hope everybody's feeling okay and stuff. Okay, I got one person that's looking at me real quick. I'll stay on for a minute and stuff and just see what's going on. Because normally one thing I find out is that some people stay up late at night. Like myself and others. Because like I said, I normally be at work at this time, but like I said, they called us off tonight, so I'm not working tonight. So I said, well, let me just do a live and see who's on tonight. See who can I catch. And so far, it don't seem like nobody's up right now, or at least nobody got the notification yet. So, like I said, I'll just hang out for a few more minutes and see what's up. Because it is kind of late. It's 3 in the morning, so I know probably ain't nobody probably up at this time of the morning. Because usually this be the time that we're normally like I'll usually start a little bit earlier than this, and then this usually be the time that we'll be getting off. So maybe everybody might be asleep at this time of the morning, you know. And I do understand because it was just a spontaneous live, I just want to do a spontaneous live, but maybe I'll do another one, like I said, a couple hours, catch everybody up. But then again, I might just be busy this time of the year because you got Thanksgiving coming, and then you got Christmas and New Year's and all that good stuff. So so people might be busy out with family and resting up. Some people enjoying their days off because, like I said, people got days off. They don't go back until Monday. They're off now until Monday. So then people might be trying to get their rest on and everything and stuff. And I know a lot of people, like my wife, she started cooking today, and then, like I said, she's in the bed now. I'm sure she's gonna be getting up about maybe another couple hours, about maybe 7, and get up and start doing other stuff. So a lot of people might have did that. They might have went to sleep so they can get up kind of like early in the morning and get their cooking done. Their turkeys and the macaroni and cheese and all that good stuff, you know. Because at first, my wife said she didn't want to cook at first. Because actually, to be truthful with you, we were going to go to the because she cooked big last year, and I asked her, "Well, what you gonna do?" She was kind of iffy about it at first. You know, I said, "Well, shoot, we just go to the Golden Corral and call it a night." You know what I'm saying? She said, "Okay," but then I guess you know she just said, "Well, you know what? Let's just go on and cook." You know what I'm saying? So she said, "Okay." So she got the stuff. She bought all the stuff, and she wanted to cook. You know, I don't think she's going to go as hard as she went last year. You know, so we want to have all the basic stuff. But like last year, we barbecued and all that good stuff. So I don't. We're definitely not going to barbecue this year. So yeah, we did all that. We barbecued. She did ham, turkey, all kind of stuff. So yeah. So I don't think we're going to go as big as we went last year. But she did want to cook. So I said fine. You know. So yes, so we're just going to sit here, and then, like I said, my wife picked up, a little job where she works a couple hours and stuff. So she do have to go in on Thursday. It's only for like what 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. So that ain't too bad. But by the time she go in, we've been and got to eat, and everybody pretty much chilling. So yeah, I might go see my mom, earlier that day and see them, see what they got going on, and just watch some football. Hopefully the Lions can pull off the win against. I think they're playing against the Green Bay Packers, so hopefully the Lions will win. So big up to the Lions. Hope they pull off a win. I'm not really a Lions fan. For those of you who know, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but I do like the Lions because that is my hometown. And who would want the what I'm saying, who would want their home team to win? But I'm not going to just be on their bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? But it is good when you do see the home team win. So I'm rooting for them. Even though I'm a Pittsburgh fan, even if they're playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, like I wouldn't mind seeing the Lions win. It just goes to show you how like I root for the home team. If they were playing at home in Detroit, I still like to see Detroit win, even if he was playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But everybody knows I'm a Steelers fan. But you can tell by my icon. But yeah, so we just hope the Lions pull out that win, and I hope everybody's hope everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Hope everybody really you know enjoy their days off. 'Cause I know a lot of people they enjoy the food and stuff, but a lot of people like the days off. To sit back from work and ain't got to go in and stuff. You can rest as long as you want and chill as long as you want. So I know a lot of people they look forward to that more so than anything. Everything else is pretty much a bonus. So yeah, so I just wanted to go live for a second. And those of you that's watching the replay, I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys. I'll try to go live again. Excuse me. I haven't really been doing lives lately, but if I do go live, I may go a little earlier or something just to see. Like I said, I really don't. I'm really not really expecting a whole lot of people because it is, like I said, the holiday season. People don't really have the time to really watch videos and stuff. Well, at least, well, put it like this, at least I don't know. Hey, what's going on, John? What's going on, John? Good morning, man. How you doing? Hope you having a good holiday. We hope you have a good holiday coming up, stuff and everything like that. So yeah, so like I said, I mean, I'll just do another live and see what I grab. Like I say, because ain't really too much been really going on as far as in the streaming world. At least I haven't really heard anything except for maybe Google changed their mind uh, about the apps, and then like I say, Amazon is still up to their old antics and stuff. So the same old stuff that's been people been talking about. And just been doing some gaming. I'm truly enjoying my gaming PC because that's like my number one platform right now. I pretty much those of you that know, I pretty much sold all of my consoles, and once I share my screen, well, once I show y'all my background, you guys are really going to see my room is really a difference now. It's a lot less. less compacted and a lot less full. Like I said, I downsized a bit. I've sold a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I'm gonna give away, a lot of stuff. So yeah, so I just wanted to kind of downsize. Like all my echoes are off the table and stuff like that. I sold my Switch, sold all that stuff because I really wasn't using the Switch like I thought I would. Like I was just kind of pretty much suffering from FOMO. Like I saw it, I was like, oh, something new, I want to get it. Played those two games, and that was it. So I told my wife I just want to get rid of it. Got a few dollars back from it. It was cool. And then like I said, my PC, like I'm on that like 90% of the time. So I said, well, just invest in PC now. The money I would spend on games with consoles and stuff, I can just upgrade my graphics card and upgrade my CPU and things like that. Because everything is pretty much coming to PC anyway. Like Steam. Valve announced they're going to do a Steam machine, and basically that's just like a little PC where you get to allow you to play Steam games. So kind of got mixed emotions about that. They were talking about it got 8 gigs of RAM and stuff like that, 8 gigs and all that. But at first, they were saying that 8 gigs is not enough, but now they're saying that 8 gigs is enough. But I figure like this, and I'm gonna get off. I figure like, hey, you know, build you a PC or buy you a pre-built. It may seem expensive in the long run, but as time go on, you start saving money. I mean, invest in a PC. That would be my suggestion if you can. I'm not shitting on consoles or nothing, but I just prefer PC because there's so many things you can do with a PC. You know, surf the web, do homework, search the internet, play games, and it's free online when you play with the PC and stuff. So my Steam name is. Oh my God, that's a good question. Let me look real quick. Hold on. Good question. Let me look and see what my Steam name is. Let me see. Type in I think it's Ken Dot Mullen. Ken Dot Mullen, John. Ken Dot Mullen. If it's not it, give me a call or give me a call in a couple hours. Now I'll go through my Steam and I'll send it to you. But I think it's Ken Dot Mullen, John, if I'm not mistaken. But if that's not it, what I'm saying, you should find me with that. But if not, then just give me a call and so I'll make sure you get it. Yep. Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on, man, for a second, Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that should be it, bro. And then, like I said, Microsoft, the Xbox, that's pretty much, talking about a hybrid. So that's what I'm talking about. Basically turning these consoles into PCs now. When you play all your Steam games and all of that. So like I said, I mean, don't beat me up too much in the comments, but I just say, listen, if you want to, I mean, there may be some exclusives that PlayStation may have, maybe one or two that might come to console first. But if you can wait for those within a night, like a nice year or maybe a couple of months after they release, what I'm saying? If you can wait, then hey, like for example, Ghost of Yotai, that never that hasn't come to PC yet, but it will. Just like Ghost of Tsushima came to PC, so Ghost of Yotai will come to PC. So, and I'm willing to wait for that because I looked at some gameplay. I'm like, that's something that I'm not itching to really play yet. And also they're talking about a Grand Theft Auto 6 that's been pushed back into November of next year, but that might not be coming to. One minute I hear there's coming to consoles, coming to PC day and date, but then another time I hear that it may not be coming to PC day and date. But I tell you what, if it don't come to PC day and date, I can wait because I'm sure everybody named Mama gonna be streaming that game. everybody named Mama. That's going to be the biggest thing on YouTube. As far as in the gaming community, when everybody get their hands on that Grand Theft Auto 6, everybody's going to be streaming it. So I can just watch gameplay on it. I mean, I know one would say, well, can't, that's not like playing it. I mean, like if I had my console, I'd be like, cool, I'll buy it. But like I say, I don't plan on investing in no more consoles anymore. So all I got is a PC. So if it don't come to PC day and date, I can wait. Because I'm not just going to buy, another PlayStation or another Xbox just to play that game. You know what I'm saying? When I can wait. When there's going to be a lot of people. Or one of my buddies might have it. Like one of my friends, they still got consoles. I might go over their house and play it, until they come to PC. But I am going to get it, but I'm just going to wait till it comes to PC. So, like I said, I got enough friends of mine that I can just maybe go over and play it with them or something like that. Play on their console or whatever. But I don't want to, like I said, I'm not buying another console just to play that game. You know, which we know that will be coming to PC. So, like I said, if you guys can wait, for the games to come to PC, then invest in PC because thing about PC is, you can upgrade when you get ready. It's not, I'm saying, it's not, don't have to upgrade every time a new graphics card come out or every time a new, I'm saying, something else that come out. You can give it time, only upgrade when you feel the need, when the games aren't performing the way you want them to perform, or when it's not, when you're seeing, when things are not working right, then you feel the need to upgrade. Or if you got a couple extra dollars and you're like, well, you know what, I want to, do something for myself, buy you another graphics card or something, upgrade, stuff like that. Because who am I to tell you not to spend your money on that? But you don't have to, because in a few more, probably like in a year or so, the 6000 series will be out, I'm still rocking the 4000 series. My card is just fine. So I may wait until the 6000 series. But then again, if my card is still performing good, I might just even wait. See, so with PC, it gives you that option to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, so when games are not working the way you want them to work, or when you're not really getting that fast frame rate, or if you feel like your game should play differently, then maybe you can consider, what I'm saying, upgrading. But at the time being, what's going on? Yeah, I know, Skulls. I just came home, man. Like I'm just sitting here before I went to bed, bro. I just came here, man. Like I'm about to be laying down in a minute. I just came here for a minute. Um, if I do another live, it'll probably be like kind of like in the daytime, a little earlier in the day. Like I said, man, I wasn't expecting to get no people here tonight, but thanks for coming over, bro. Like I said, like if you read the topic, the subject is like who's up. Let me see who's up. Like I said, man, like it's 3:24 in the morning. So I know ain't so I know people aren't really up, what I'm saying. But I'm just sitting here vibing, talking about PC and stuff. So yeah. So keep that in mind, guys. For those of you that's thinking about PC, or those of you that have a PC, it's all about research, and knowing what you're getting. Because, like I said, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I mean, to really get something future proof, you want to spend a few dollars. But as time go on, that's going to, what I'm saying, that's going to pay for itself, with all the stuff. You can do your emulators, your emulation, your ROMs, emulators. You can do that. You can, like I said, you can surf the web, free online, all that stuff. Let me see. A lot of things going to RAM wise. Hard drives will add to the cost. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. I'm glad he said that. Right now, prices are high. So that's another thing too. That's why I come. It's kind of, I'm glad he mentioned that because it kind of brought me to my next point. That's why that sometimes, like, if you can kind of like future proof yourself when you first do your PC build, or when you get a pre-build, like if you buy the stuff that you can like right now kind of future proof yourself, then you don't got to worry about it now because prices are high for RAM and stuff. Like we were talking about that at my job. Yep, the micro SD stuff, the RAM, the storage is getting real expensive. Getting real expensive. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere between $400 to $1,000 for RAM now. You know, it's real expensive now. And then, like I say, consoles are going up and everything. So basically, just do your research, guys. When you're trying to find a PC and stuff, get something that you know, or like if you don't know, watch a lot of videos or ask people. Like I say, I directed a few people, you know, on how to purchase a PC. You know what to get and what to look for, and what to know what they're getting, so that way that they don't have to worry about like, oh, okay, within the next year or two, you have to upgrade again. You know, because see, PCs, depending on how well you upgrade and how well you future-proof yourself, anyway, PCs can last between 5 to 8 years, you know, before you even do anything to it. Because, you know, like some people might disagree with me, but it doesn't take a lot of power to game. I want a 2 terabyte micro. I was sad about buying four 20 terabyte Reds, the WD, that close to 1,500, maybe more now. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, you know, like right now, trying to build a PC right now, I wouldn't recommend it because stuff is so expensive. I mean, it's going to go down, but we don't know when. But those of you that have gotten a PC and stuff, so I'm sure you guys already got it to where you ain't got to really upgrade right now. You know, at least it's gonna hold you off until prices go down and prices get better. Because right now prices are ridiculous. Consoles are going up, and computer parts are going up as well. You know, but that's why I say, like, if you get a PC, whatever, you got the best of all worlds. Because you know what I'm saying, now, like I say, consoles are good too. I mean, there's still a space for consoles, and there's still people that prefer consoles. Let me see. I just got enclosure so I can feel the drives now. DDR4 I got. Yep, yep. Yeah, so like I said, consoles are okay too, but sometimes, like I said, I mean, I've always been a PC person, and now that I've got into the gaming aspect of it, the the console, don't get me wrong, I still got my modded consoles and things like that, my modded PS4, PS3, Wii and Wii U and all that stuff. I still got all that stuff. But as far as modern consoles, no. Because I sold my Switch. Remember, the Switch 2 was the only modern console that I had. But I wasn't finding myself playing that. Like I said, I played Mario Kart Worlds and Donkey Kong Bonanza. I played all of that stuff. And those games are so expensive too. And then, like I say, another thing that you can benefit from PC gaming is because not all games, but some games you can get for cheap. Like I said, Steam got a sale now where you can get games. D Johnson just told me that one game that he saw that was like $50. Now they got it for $4. See, Steam does that. They throw games on sale. Then you got Green Man Gaming. You have other places where you can buy games for cheap on PC. Then if you guys know how to do other ways, like stuff that I can't really disclose on YouTube, I'm saying that there's other ways you can obtain your games as well. Like if you don't want to pay, like if there's a game that you want to play that's not on sale, 9 times out of 10, one of our places that we go may have it, and then bam, you can play it there. Granted, you might not be able to play online all the time with nobody, but who usually plays online? Like if it's a single player game anyway. Just play the game, beat it, and then delete it. Saying that's a way to save money as well. So, like I say, that's how PC pretty much pays for itself. Like when you start buying the games, investing in the games, you're like, okay, I ain't got to spend $80 or $70 for a game. Like I can wait until it goes on sale, or I can go get it a different kind of way. You guys catch my drift. So yeah, and then when you do emulators and stuff, you might want to relive your childhood. But you might want to set up, like me, I love the PlayStation 2. So I got that set up on my PC where I can play all my retro PlayStation 2 games. you know, the Wii games, and stuff like that. PC gives you all of that stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? So there's just so many reasons why I say PC, and then also, like you can watch your Plex on there, on your computer. You can set it up as an Android device. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You know what I'm saying? People, a lot of people get deterred because of the price. Oh, 1,500 here or 2,000 here. But yeah, there's an additional buy-in. Mine was 3,000, I think, a little over 3,000. But I got all stuff where I have. Then also, when you get a PC, whether you're buying a pre-built or you building one, always think future-proof. Always think future-proof. Whether you're going to do it a year from now or 5 years, just have it to where that when you do upgrade, that all you maybe be swapping out is maybe your CPU or GPU. You ain't have to worry about a power supply or anything like that because you already then went and purchase that because the power supply that I think I have a 1200 power supply. That's overkill for my 4070. But I know eventually I'm either going to throw a 5070 Ti in there, or I'm going to throw a 6000 or maybe a 6070 or something like that, or a 6080. And with that, I don't have to upgrade my power supply. You see what I'm saying? So and things like that. And then also my CPU is an i9. So if I don't want to change my CPU, I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Because those upgrades. So my computer right now is ready for another GPU if I want to put one in there. So so those are some of the things that you benefit from when you're doing PC. You see, those Steam frames is going to give you that. Steam frame, yeah, Steam frames, yep. Let me see. I just yeah, okay, y'all read that. Yep. But yeah, but like I said, like if you have like a 40 series, or even people like my buddy, he got a 30 series, because like I was reading, the number one card for Steam at the moment is a 3060. And that's 2 generations behind. People are still gaming on a 3060 because that's so if you don't believe me, Google it. The most the most used graphics card on Steam right now is the RTX 3060. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's the 12 gig with 12 gigs of VRAM. And like I said, you know, some people say 8 is not the standard no more. It's either 12 and more, but they could come out with this Steam machine, and that only has 8 gigs of VRAM. So that goes to show you that 8 gigs is still enough. I mean, I wouldn't invest in an 8 gig VRAM GPU right now. I mean, yeah, you could get by, but I would either go 12 or more. And that's strictly for future proof, especially when you got these games that kind of they're VRAM hungry, like Indiana Jones or Alan Wake. Those two games I know for a fact that requires a lot of VRAM. And I think Resident Evil 4, I think that uses a lot of VRAM as well. So those are the things that you want to watch out for. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing that. Let me see. I want I won't rock a handle running that. Right. I am going to rock the Cube 1K just for Steam games have at yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. So yeah, so guys, so like I said, like if you on the fence about getting a PC, and I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers that I'm subscribed to, they're selling some of their games. This one guy, he bought a whole new PC. He sold some of his games because he wanted to experience PC gaming, and he likes it. I mean, now whether or not if he gets up his consoles and stuff, but he has an option where he can play his PC games. You know, then like I say, what I'm saying, you can stream on that computer. I'm saying, you can do all kind of stuff on it. So the possibilities are endless. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, guys, without rambling on, I recommend PC if you can afford it. A little expensive, to be getting with. But listen, if you want one, hey, if you're gonna shovel snow, for all the kids that are listening, hey, shovel some snow, do your chores and stuff, and just save your money up. Save your money up. Save up about a good $1,200 or maybe 2,000. And I'm sure you can make something happen with that. Like because once you buy that, you ain't got to buy nothing for a couple more years. See, that's a good thing about that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to upgrade or buy nothing. Like I said, I'm gonna keep my PC for a long time. The 6000 series is almost here, but it's still a year out, and that's even if I upgrade then. So that's the beautiful thing about PC is that you control what you want to do. Saying if you feel like the time ain't right to upgrade, you upgrade. But with consoles, every couple of years, so we get a new console, the PlayStation 6, a new Xbox, the Switch 2, even though that went 8 years, I think like that. So, things like that, and then one last thing that I'm gonna be done is that with PC, you can change the frame rate, you can lower your settings, you can raise your settings and stuff. You can switch from so you can have a game that's running at 30 frames, you can turn it into a 60 frame game. But in most cases, if it's running 30 on the console, that's all you can get. Because with consoles, you just get what you get. But on PC, so you have options. So you can turn it up. So you can turn the resolution up and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Then even with these, I know I said I was done, but some things here coming to my head. And even with with emulation, like if you're using DuckStation for PS1, and if you upgrade that to maybe like 4 times, I mean that game looks beautiful. Because anybody that know back in the day, we played it because we didn't have no better options. But if you try to play, it may look a little bit better maybe on a CRT TV with scan lines and stuff. But if you try to play some of these PlayStation 1 games on modern hardware, like on a TV and things like that, or play them just regularly on a computer and stuff, they don't look as good. They don't look good unless you upscale it. Some people like it like that. Some people, they'd rather go buy a CRT. There are some people out there that just like to play original on console and original hardware. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I would never say that they're wrong and stuff. Play games how they intended to be played. But if you're a person that's into emulation and things like that, to get the best result is you're gonna need a gaming PC because you can upscale those games to 4K and things of that nature. So basically, you can have Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation 1 looking as good as a modern game that just came out. You know, so PCs give you that option. Then you can do mods and all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff. What I'm saying? You can surf the web. You can download content. You can build your Plex up. So look, the PC does so much. But you guys already know that. I'm not telling you guys nothing that y'all don't know. So I'm fully aboard. Like I say, guys, I pretty much, like I said, I've sold all of my consoles and stuff with the exception of my modded ones. So far as modern games, I'm pretty much, my only platform is PC. So that's cool. So with that being said, guys, I think I've talked enough. I'm about to get on the out of here because I'm getting a little tired myself and going there and lay with my wife and go to sleep. But look, like if I do another Spirit of Moment live or something, I'll make sure that it's earlier in the daytime or earlier so that way you guys can come on and stuff. And for those of you that watch it on the replay, God bless you guys. I really appreciate all of you that supports me. Like I can go live once every 3 months and you guys are still supporting me. So I really love you guys very much. Thank everybody who believed in me. Thank everybody who stuck with me through the thick and through the thin. Health-wise, I'm doing good. I went and got my checkups and stuff. I'm doing fine with that. So thank you all who's called and checking on me. Michael Forte, thank you, man. I got your message. Thank you very much. And for others who've reached out to me and making sure I was fine, I really appreciate all of that. I love you guys and thank you for the love. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes I seem a little wishy-washy because one minute I say, well, I ain't gonna go live or I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? But I often find myself coming back, you know what I'm saying? That's because I love the people, and I love going live, you know what I'm saying? As you can see, I love to talk. So yeah, so I love just doing all of that stuff, So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave you all here. Wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody having a good time. I pray many blessings upon your lives. I pray many blessings that God continue to keep you guys in perfect health and bless you all. And I'll talk and see y'all again on the next one. Like I said, I'll try to go live a little bit earlier so you guys can come on. All right, guys. Thank you, and I'm out. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Bye.